The Coast Guard scrambled all assets in western Alaska to search for the 11 brave Katmai sailors.
Cedric was inside the raft, and he just pulling guys in. He pulled Adam off the top of me, and he pulled me in. You could see the boat laid over on it. Actually, you watching the boat finish, going all the way over, and watch the lights go out.
We were floating out in the middle of the Bering Sea now in a raft. Our boat was gone. We were in the conditions there possibly to be.
We were fighting just to stay alive.
On the morning of 22nd of October, about 0300 in the morning, we received a request from the United States Coast Guard to assist in the recovery of the occupants of the vessel Katmai.
They were abandoning ship and getting in a life raft.
2 life rafts were deployed, 1 was blown away, and just 6 Katmai sailors made it into the other raft.
It was blowing. It was blowing hard. And then the canopy started to tear. And I mean, the wind was blowing into the raft and it's putting all this pressure on it, getting hit by waves. And the raft was full of water, of course, because you couldn't close the canopy, so you couldn't get it bailed out. All of a sudden, a wave came. Boom, we lost Cedric and Josh.
With one towering wave, 6 men became 4.
Do you make that choice to swim to help your guys that are floating away in these awful conditions, or do you stay with the rest of them that have a fighting chance here on the boat?
Losing those guys, having them there 1 second and then gone the next, was a real reality check. Like, it wasn't gonna get any better at all. The night was really, really long, being tossed and tossed and tossed time after time after time in that raft.
And when it got light, you know, I found the spot to inflate the raft. I started blowing into the floor of the raft, and that's actually when we quit flipping, was when I got the floor inflated. And the weather was starting to ease up a little bit then, too.
The Coast Guard scoured the 200-square-mile search grid, desperately trying to find the life raft.
It was going to take a miracle. Somebody was going to just have to take a turn and fly over us, and they'd have to fly right over us, or we weren't going to make it back.
We started down on our leg, and the flight mechanic says, I have a raft at 3 o'clock.
Coast Guard rescue swimmer Dave Coates retrieved 4 of the Katmai crewmen.
They were noticeably cold. Their faces were red from exposure to the salt water and to the seas. You know, they were cognizant, they were talking to me, you know, they weren't, you know, they had dexterity. Once we got them into the helicopter, 3 of them started taking off their survival suits. We passed around the water that we had.
That helicopter felt like the warmest place in the world, and I imagine it really wasn't, but it felt so warm. It was like heaven in there.
And to be back there in those conditions, stepping off in life suits and Coast Guard helicopters and ambulances, and, you know, that was a hell of a wonderful feeling.
But for 30-year-old survivor Ryan Appling, the nightmare continues.
They brought me to the Providence Hospital, held me overnight there, 5-point restraints, the whole 9 yards. I was a basket case. The gravity of losing 7 guys, seven brothers. I still lose it from time to time on my own. I mean, I still break down. You just can't sleep. You're psychologically just twisted, just messed up. What don't kill you makes you stronger, I guess, right?
It's something else. The Bering Sea is something else. You know, it's, unless you've lived it, you know, you really wouldn't know, but it's not something to mess around with at all.
By all rights, I should have been in that wheelhouse, still giving maydays.